So before I get started, I need to let you know that I'm making a video series and I'm going to put it in a playlist for future reference. You can come back to it and follow along with what I'm going to talk about in these next few videos. Some of the things that I will be covering in this video requires that you know some of the stuff beforehand, so it makes more sense for you. But without further ado, let's get into it. There are prerequisites that you need to meet. I'll link the videos below. But what you need to know for this video is you need to have three things. Those three things are your Part 107, your drone registration, and certificate of insurance, or some form of insurance. So naturally, as a media major, I thought that I could just go to Media Lab and they'd be able to cover or help me understand the stuff about drones. However, Media Lab is not where you want to go. Where you want to go is actually a different web page from UCSD's Media Lab. The department that you're going to be contacting and referring to is the Environment, Health, and Safety. I'll link the web page down in the description, and we'll go over how to navigate the whole page and where to go. So this page is essentially where you want to go as a pilot each time you want to submit a flight request, or whenever you plan to fly at UCSD campus or anywhere along UCSD campus property. One thing I need to mention is before you even submit a flight request, if you plan on flying with like for example, an event or a venue on campus, make sure the event organizers acknowledge you as the pilot and know that you are doing this. Another thing I should mention is this video is only going to be covering the application portion for students. So if you're a student, then you'll be accessing the UC Drone web app. If you're a third party, then I'm sorry about that. Maybe I'll cover it in a different video. So without further ado, let's move on to the screen. From here, you will see a bunch of information. What we'll be focusing on is the requesting flight approval. And this is essentially what you're looking for. But one thing I should also show is that there are resources and support that you can go to. Another thing you can check is the map, the campus map, which shows you what is technically considered campus and not considered campus. So if you're not sure, you have a reference. So anyway, like I said before, make sure you have your drone registration. It just means that you need to register your drone with the FAA. And next thing you look for is the UCSD or the UC Drone web app. So what you do is you'll click on it, you'll sign in. All right, so once you're signed in, you'll come over to this page. And what you do is you go to the top left where it says apps, click on it. It's gonna have a drop-down menu, go to drones. And this will be your main page to go for or to refer to when you plan your flights. And the first thing you need to do is add yourself as a pilot. So let's do that right now. So we'll go to pilot and you'll add the applicable information. So for example, I have my recreational certificate in the system. And I have myself as a pilot. And what I've done is I've attached my Part 107 as a digital file and kept it in the system. So once you do that, save. Then next you'll go to manage aircrafts. You'll add your aircraft, and whatever aircraft you have, you just put the respective information. For example, the equipment that I use is the SpeedyB. Model is just SpeedyB 25. And then responsible person, which is the pilot. So I'll put my name, which is right there. Perfect. FAA registration number, whatever number you have. Storage location, I have it off campus. And then is it campus owned? For me, nope. Nickname, you can add a nickname so that when you search the system, you can easily find it. And then for attachments, what I do is I attach my Part 107 registration number with it. Or, sorry, I attach my drone registration with my Part 107. Once you've done that, you can save. All right, so once you've saved, you can double check to see if it's saved and if it's in the list of different drones. So for example, like I said, I have the SpeedyBee, and here we go. It's right here. Perfect, you're good to go. So from there, what you'll do is you'll go to projects or manage projects and file project flights. And we'll add a new project. Aircraft and pilot is whatever you filled in for from earlier. So for me, it is the SpeedyBee, and then pilot is just me. And project name. For this example, we'll use my previous one that I did, which is my event called Horizon with UCSD's ACE. So let's just say example UCSD Horizon, day 1 and day 2. Okay, so project purpose. For my use case scenario, it's going to be Part 107, but you can also do it recreationally. Hey guys, Editor Peter here. When I say you can do it recreationally, I mean it in the sense that if you are doing it just for fun, not for business. For this specific example, it is a 107 flight because we are flying over people and at an event with risks. Additionally, for flights, business or recreational, if you plan to fly around housing or healthcare facilities, it will most likely be denied for privacy reasons. So on my notes here, for recreational flights, you don't need to provide insurance for recreational flights. However, it depends on the nature of the flight. If it's high risk, then naturally it will be denied. Or if it manages to pass, then you'll need some type of insurance and you'll be monitored by the EH&S staff. But normally, it won't happen because the risk isn't worth it for the university, especially for a recreational flight that has no business purpose. And then for business or Part 107, as students, you'll still need a certificate of insurance for liability. You can purchase like day-to-day insurances for your events, or you can just buy one for annually and pay monthly. That's currently what I do. One thing I need to specify here is even if you're a student, that doesn't automatically mean you'll be covered by UCSD's insurance policy. And I'll go through that shortly after this. Typically, you'll need at least 1 mil in insurance coverage, or if it's high risk, then it's going to be up to 5 mil. All right, so the exception to be covered under UCSD policy, from what I understand and based on my notes, this is what I have. If you're flying for your department, then it is covered under UCSD's insurance policy. For example, you're processed by payroll and formally given a UCSD address and etc. Either that or you're hired as an affiliate contractor and paid for a one-time project. You actually have to be embedded in the department and working for them. It can be on a part-time basis or a full-time basis. It just depends as long as you're hired directly and an employee of UCSD. So to summarize it, you will only be covered if you are staff and if you are flying for business purposes for your department. Outside of that, you'll need to procure your own insurance. Being a student doesn't qualify you for the insurance, only if you're working in a department. So take that with a grain of salt. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I'll try to work through them. All right, so now that I got the Part 107 and recreational spiel over with, let's continue on. So what we were doing was filling in the project purpose, and for this project purpose, or this example, it is going to be Part 107. Technically, it's filming for the university or publicity. So we'll do that, and it's automatically going to show you that it's 107. Let's say the project date starts 25th to the 26th. All right. And then another thing I need to mention is you need to submit a flight request at least 3 days prior to the event. But honestly, the earlier, the better. Expected field time, let's say about 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. And we're going to be flying during the evening. And to note, to fly in the evening, you'll need a strobe light. I'll probably link that above or in the description. And then next is to pin or mark the location where you plan to fly. So for us, it's going to be in La Jolla, UCSD. So we'll go down here, and the amphitheater is roughly right here. Okay, we'll do that. Max distance, 400. Project altitude, 400. Flying over people, yes. Flying near buildings, yes. Flying indoors, no. Mission profile, it will be attached in the SOP that I've covered in my previous video. And then risk assessment, let's just say, because we're at the amphitheater, we have to consider lighting equipment. Oh no, lighting and stage equipment. There will be students, staff, and talent. So those are the biggest things to take into consideration. Another thing actually is buildings. So, and adjacent buildings. So we'll just roughly say it here, and we'll also incorporate that into the SOP. Observers, so you'll need a visual observer whenever you fly. For me, it was the staff, an event staff member. All right, and then comments, if you need to apply any comments, you'll save. Oh yes, flying near buildings. So you'll save. This is what it will roughly look like. And from here, you can add your attachments. All right, so for attachments, you'll just need to attach your Part 107, your SOP, the drone registration, and your certificate of insurance. If there's anything else that needs to be requested, then you'll see in the comments. Whoever is currently in charge will be the one who contacts you through the comments. So from there, you could edit or submit the request. I'll show you guys what it should look like on my example. So we'll go back to my projects, and we will go to the initial project that was approved. So you have pilot, it's me, my student recreational number. Here is all the details, project name, project purpose, UAS regulation 107, because we're doing it commercially or for business. Dates, field time, a frequency of occurrence. You don't need to fill that in. Evening is when I shot it. Location is pinned on the map. Project altitude and distance, it's filled in, and just fill in whatever is applicable. So for me, flying over people, yes. Near buildings, yes. Indoors, no. And I've attached documents, and then my documents are attached below here. And from there, submit, and you are just going to have to, once you submit, you'll just wait for the verdict. So here, whoever is in charge or whoever is giving the approvals will be the one to contact you. And if there's any changes that need to happen, then you will have to make those changes accordingly to what they say. And from there, yeah, you're pretty much set. And I hope you guys have a great flight. Thanks for watching.